G'day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the brand new story revamp for one of the older events, and that is going to be the Fierce Battle for Planet Namek event. So basically we're going to take a look at the revamp. Previously you could get the Strength Gohan from this. It's pretty much remained the same, except they've added in a new support memory and they've refreshed all the stones, which is obviously great for veteran players because it means we have another source of stones. Now overall the event is quite a few stages, 8 stages. 2 of them only have second difficulties. You can farm the Strength Gohan from stage 1, some pretty good training locations from stage 3. You can get the Awakening Medals from Gohan for stage 7, and you can get the Hidden Potential Orbs for Gohan from stage 8. Now there are some mission requirements. These mission requirements are pretty straightforward. Using an Exploding Rage character, using a character with the Courage tag, using a character with Earthlings, using a character with Exploding Rage, etc. There's also one for using Saiyan Warrior Race, and quite a few other links. So yeah, obviously we're going to build a team that can kind of complete all of these. Just so that it makes your life a bit easier. We're going to do it so that it all goes in one go. Now the point of doing this is so that you can get your hands on the support memory, a brand new support memory that uses yellow film that features Krillin, and it's pretty fun. Obviously one thing that they've done is kind of revamped all these events to give them a little bit more of a story feel, which I think is pretty good. So overall, there are some still missions for Hidden Potential and stuff like that for Gohan. We'll talk about that at the end a little bit when we discuss Gohan in a bit more detail. There is an effect of a team bonus, it's more rapid growth. But yeah, basically that's about it. Like I said, we're going to be building our team to meet all of this requirements that are required here. And yeah, we're just basically going to see how things go. Of course, in terms of this event, barring the support memory, you can farm Gohan, but you can also use Gohan to raise the super attack effects of a whole bunch of other Gohan youths, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, but in terms of the requirements, we are going to be using a whole bunch of units, but predominantly we'll be using like Krillin's, the Gohan himself, the free-to-play Gohan, and just in general quite a few decent units. Now a lot of them aren't going to be on the rapid growth category, which is a little bit of a bummer. The main reason being that it's a bummer is because you're not going to really manage to have a boost for your team. So although you're going to be running all of the units required to get the support memory, you're not going to have a very high boost, so try and keep that in mind. You won't be getting a lot of bonus rewards running the event like this, which is a little bit of a shame, strictly speaking. Obviously it would be nice, in an ideal world, if we could just use kind of all the units we wanted to, and then we didn't really have an issue or anything like that. But yeah, in general, it is pretty rough, obviously in terms of like, okay, we're going to use these units to complete the requirements, but they're not going to really fall under the category, which is always a little bit upsetting, at least for me. I always like to have a high team bonus when I do these things. But yeah, as you can see, I am selecting from only free-to-play units. You don't have to do this. You don't have to use specifically these units. If you want to, you can use whichever units, pick your interest or that you like, or anything really. You don't have to distinctly use these units or anything like that, but I think in general using these units is pretty simple because most people should have them. Obviously as new players you may not have them, but that's okay. Now we'll talk a little bit about farming Gohan. So Gohan, he obviously is a free-to-play unit. Strictly speaking, he's a pretty old free-to-play unit, so the question of whether it's worth farming him is maybe something you probably have to consider, but you should probably farm him anyway. I mean, you can use him for a whole bunch of things. down the line. I've been using him for Ultimate Clash for years, so it's not too much of an issue. But I do understand like players not being that interested in farming super old units, especially ones that have already easy aid. If you are farming Gohan, you can get a ton of copies of him from the missions. You can literally get like 13, 14 copies of him from the missions. So there's really no need to farm that many copies of him. He has a pretty low drop rate, so you're going to need to run it a couple times. Even with a boost, he has a pretty low drop rate. So yeah. Beyond that though, there's really nothing else too much that you need to stay focused on. Like I said, he's really not too much of an issue as a unit to farm. And strictly speaking, you shouldn't have that many issues in getting him. His medals drop from stage 7, which is pretty self-explanatory. And then his hidden potential orbs drop from stage 8. But we'll take a look at stage 8 once we do get there, because it is obviously important to take a look at stage 8 and just kind of like obviously, you know, show people at least what the stage looks like, because of the fact that getting the hidden potential orbs is so determinant on how you handle that stage. But yeah, in general, everything is pretty straightforward. Personally speaking, at least on my end, I think, you know, there's not too much you can do wrong here. So what we're going to do is we're simply just going to kind of skip ahead a little bit. And when I say skip ahead, I'm just going to off screen run every stage once, because yeah, that is basically all I need to do, and then we'll take a look from there, because it is, like I said, pretty straightforward. So there's not too much for you to focus on or do, and you shouldn't really have that big an issue. Like I said, there are some missions for Gohan. You can see we're completing the sport memory missions. So we're just going to skip ahead once we get to stage 8. And then we're going to do stage 8 together so that you guys can see how to get the hidden potential orbs. Because, like I said, it is possibly the bigger concern in terms of like understanding or doing this event is those hidden potential orbs. So we'll take a look at them together. But essentially there are 3 paths that you can get for these hidden potential orbs. So the one on the far left basically gives you the small orbs, and then the one on the far right gives you the large orbs. One in the middle gives you the medium. Once you clear this cloud, you will see basically a little blocked off path. Sometimes that path will be open. So sometimes that path will be open. You can then of course go through that path and you'll get a whole bunch of bonus hidden potential orbs, which is obviously, you know, pretty helpful. So if you do see that path open, make sure that you go there so that you can get your hands on some additional hidden potential orbs. It really does speed up the process quite a bit. So you want to make sure you go through there and use, you know, as small steps as possible, obviously. But beyond that, there's not too much really to consider, but I just thought I would show you guys just so that you obviously know. And yeah, that is pretty much it. And with the completion of that stage, we have also managed to complete all of the missions that are required for the sport memory. So we've obviously finished that, which is great, and we'll go and obviously do that now. You'll see all the missions done. As I mentioned before, there are some older missions that I've already done for Gohan, copies of him. So like I said, you don't need to farm a lot of copies of him. You get like so many from the missions, so just be careful of that and make sure that you do that process as best you can. Like I said, he drops from stage 1, so what you really want to do is you want to work on your team bonus. Like I said, you want to really work on the rapid growth category, because that's really going to be where you like see the best out of everything. So yeah, rapid growth category, just kind of focus on that and you should be more than fine. Again, shouldn't be a huge issue, but I know some people will struggle with it. But yeah, don't just use free-to-play units. Once you've cleared all of the category requirements, you can kind of then head on and do whatever you want. But yeah, that's pretty much it, I think, in terms of everything here. So not too concerned about what else you guys get up to. As you can see, we have the Krillin support memory. Pretty nice one, a rapid growth booster, which will be helpful for categories like Universe 6, where there's a lot of crossover with them. or for example with hybrid Saiyans, things like that, where rapid growth is kind of a strong general purpose kind of crossover support memory. So yeah, pretty good stuff overall, and yeah, you should be pretty happy with everything. But that's pretty much going to be it for me. Just one final word, just so that you guys know, there is of course the Extreme Z Awakening that you can get for Gohan. It's not currently up under Extreme Z Battle, which I do find weird. They should probably make it permanent, considering they're making the event permanent. But hey, whatever. I'm not a developer for the game, so I'm not going to say anything. But yeah, basically there is an Extreme Z Battle for him. You can find it under the Portal of Memories right now. Otherwise it is probably up if obviously you are doing this at another time. And yes, it will be up here, or it will be in Portal of Memories. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Take care, stay safe, and bye.